Okay, so moving on, let's talk about the New Orleans Saints versus the Denver Broncos game, because we saw how the Broncos had to throw their former college QB in, Kendall Hinton, and it didn't go well at all. So, Luca, you can get us started here. How do you think the NFL teams should handle these situations going forward, especially so close to playoffs?
Well, I think in a situation like this, guys, COVID 2020, every team has had to adapt throughout the season. My piece of advice for every team in the NFL, if it wasn't evident already, invest in your offensive line. These are the guys that are going to protect your quarterback, and especially when backups come into the game, these are the guys that can, make it a bit easier for them. Give them some time to read the field because, again, they're backups for a reason. They're not going to light you up and being able to throw in less than 2 seconds. Only very few guys can do that. And you can run the football as well. If you can run the football, it doesn't matter if you're a backup, if you're a Patrick Mahomes, you have a good running game. That takes a lot of pressure off the guy with the ball. So if you can invest in an offensive lineman, whether it be free agency, trade, drafting a good guy in the first round or a steal maybe later in the rounds, the offensive line is the most important unit on this team besides a quarterback. And if you can get that shirt up, you look at all the teams that are at the top of the league. They got good offensive lines. So I think right now, if you're looking at every single team, if you want to be successful in this league, you have to have a good unit up front.
I think something for me, and it kind of ticked me off a little bit, is Denver figures out all their quarterbacks are on the close contacts list and have COVID, but the Baltimore game keeps getting moved back and moved back. I get there was more players on Baltimore who had COVID and were dealing with all those issues, but the quarterback position is the most important position in football, and no one could play. So I'm surprised they didn't move this one back to Wednesday as well. So for me, I think most teams, especially in those playoff positions, are going to really have to rely on their second-string quarterback, maybe not taking as many reps in practice, and maybe staying at home and catching all the film that is filmed at practice so you're staying healthy. Luckily, the Saints have 3 capable backup quarterbacks that we've seen, even though Taysom Hill wasn't really good in this game, so they're in good shape. But, think about a team like the Arizona Cardinals. Is Brett Hundley the backup quarterback there? How would that situation work, right? So I think teams are going to be a little bit more cautious now moving forward, especially with all the cases rising in the States.
So word is that the Denver Broncos, they actually reportedly asked for a postponement on the game, and the NFL completely denied them. I'm not sure if it's because, the reason why everything happened was there was a quarterback meeting that they had between all the quarterbacks, and everybody showed up without masks on. So that was just a clear violation of the rules. So the NFL might have just gave them a kind of like, oh, well, you're going to have to play the game anyways. This is on your plate. This is your guys' fault. I think what it really comes down to is every single team individually, you just got to be aware of your situation. You got to follow the protocol and continue with the preventative measures as we go. Like, we've seen this has happened the whole season. The importance of backups, not only let alone in the real game, but in the fantasy game. These backup players have been so important this season to have in place, to have your whole team of quarterbacks decimated. And you have to come and take a wide receiver off of your practice squad who hasn't played quarterback since, 2017, 2018, and expecting to come in and really have a great game? No way. The biggest issue I found is there's no clear threshold for delaying a game for the NFL. So we're not sure if it's because you have this less of players or you don't have these type of players playing. It's a pick and choose for them, I find. If it's a game that they really want to see, you know what, we're going to keep moving it. But if it's a game like New Orleans versus Denver, that doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, and just giving the Saints a win works, and Denver is probably going to lose anyways, you just sit there as the NFL and you know what? We're going to make our money, get our money, and we're going to move on to the next week. Because no matter what, us as fans, we're going to watch the games no matter what day they get played. It just sucks for these players that sometimes the NFL doesn't take the team's feelings and their desires into that account.
Yeah, that's so true. And I hope, going through all of this and, with the whole COVID thing, they do come up with something that does work, because most likely going into 2021 season, we're probably going to be in the same predicament with still having COVID around. Sorry,
Chantel, I was going to say, sorry. On the bright side for the Broncos, they lost 31-3 with a quarterback.
Here we go.
Listen, no. He's a quarterback. He's a quarterback who used to play, and he's a wide receiver now. The Jets lost 20-3 with the overall number 3 pick at starting quarterback. So, hey, Denver, don't feel so bad. Don't feel so bad. It's okay. It's all right. The Jets are still worst. The Jets are still worse.
I thought you were going to bring up how Brady only scored 3 against the Saints a couple
No.
weeks ago.
Oh, gosh. Let's not go there. Okay.